Last night he was racing at the Chicagoland Speedway. Today he was throwing out the first pitch at the Cubs game. Kurt Busch isn't from Chicago, but in this week's conversation at Market, he told me he does consider the Windy City his home away from home.
Sports Sunday, Conversation at Market, brought to you by Market Restaurant and Sports Bar.
Well, Mr. Kurt Busch, thank you so much for joining us for our Conversation at Market, my friend.
Absolutely. It's good to see you again.
Welcome back to Chicago, a city I hear is your kind of town.
It is near and dear to my heart. Just my family was really raised here, and I was born out in Las Vegas, but just the city here, it always lures me back. The architecture, the beauty, the people. It's a great atmosphere.
And one of the things that I know us Chicagoans will love is that a guy from Las Vegas is actually a big, I hear huge Chicago Cubs fan.
I'm over-the-top Cubbies fan. Love the Cubs. I grew up going to school, in elementary school, middle school, coming home and watching the Cubs on WGN.
Take me out to the ball game.
Now, what is your favorite Cubs moment?
Really, when I got to come here in 2003 in the playoff series, and I walked up into the grandstand section and saw that the ivy had turned from green to brown, and it was October. It wasn't April, it was October.
That's when you know it's October.
That's right, so I loved it, and just that atmosphere, and just Wrigleyville in general. And my wife, we started dating when we were up here in Chicago, so it's kind of cool.
I hear you're also a big Bears fan as well, huh?
Yeah, just love the Chicago teams. I mean, I grew up in Las Vegas. There wasn't teams out there to root for. And so, the Bears.
Yeah.
I love the Cubs from this area. And just my uncle really was the big sports nut in our family. And he got me attached to the Bears, the Bulls, and the Cubs. We got this quarterback, man. We got Cutler.
So how you feeling about that move?
I'm pumped up. There was always that joke that the Chicago Bears have had more quarterbacks than J-Lo's had husbands. So
it was true, though.
Yeah, I know it. No, I'm pumped up for the city, just the excitement around the Bears this year. And, they're looking for some good wide receivers, but I'm stoked.
And let me ask you this. As a big Chicago sports fan, what would be bigger to you? And I think I know the answer to this. The Cubs winning a World Series or seeing the Bears win the Super Bowl?
I thought you were really going to corner me. I thought you were going to say win the World Series with the Cubbies or win a race at Chicagoland Speedway. Because I'd be cornered on that one.
That's a tough one, too.
It is. I mean, there's 100 years of pain out there for some fans.
Yeah.
I've only been racing at Chicago for 10 years, but hopefully it's just around the corner for both of us.
Now, I know it's not directly in Chicago, but do you feel like when you race there, you are kind of there with family, you are kind of back at what you consider your second home?
It is. I mean, you're here in Illinois and just close to the Chicago area. There's different drivers that race close to their hometowns, and when they're close and in that state, it's good enough for their home track.
I gotta start making sure people know how big of a Chicago fan you are, so when they're out there, they know to cheer for you out there. Do you feel some of that Chicago love when you're out there on the track?
I do. Just Miller here in town, and just my family ties. I love this place, and just the race fans here. I have a good following of race fans from the state of Illinois, so it's great to go out there and represent their fan favorite is the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge.
Well, we definitely welcome you back to your second home, and thank you so much for joining us for this Conversation at Market, my friend.
You got it. Thank you.
Yeah, and he had more than 50 fans at last night's race where he finished 17th at the Chicagoland Speedway. He really wants to win one here, though.
Very, very likable guy.
He is.
Almost as likable as his brother Kyle. All right, we'll have more from the Cubs.